Welcome back, everybody. Today's episode is one of those episodes where you honestly sit back and ask yourself, how much more hypocrisy are Americans supposed to ignore before people finally start saying, enough is enough? Because today we're going from Illinois to California to Maine. And every single stop along the way somehow tells the exact same story: failed leadership, double standards, and political gaslighting. And before the media has a meltdown, let me make something clear. These are my opinions. I'm a Republican, not ashamed of it. I'm a brown immigrant. And unlike many people in the media today, I am still capable of asking questions without pretending questioning something is somehow dangerous. So let's start with Illinois. Businesses leaving and the bears looking for an exit. Let's share a screen here. So let's start here.
Congratulations. That's a pretty big win. Well, it's a big win. And when you look at the time that this has been kind of flowing through, it was 5.5, 6 years ago.
That's a long time.
Actually, the Bears organization reached out to their own city of Chicago and really got no reaction. Picked it up again about 3 years ago, and it was slow go again. And then we get the call 6 months ago, and we knew that the clock was now coming into play. Their lease doesn't expire until 2033. But when you're building a big world-class stadium with all the mixed use investment around it, you've got to plan ahead. And we moved at the speed of business. And we heard earlier about the difference between a state that runs like ours. We got the lowest unemployment rate in the Midwest, the economy growing twice as fast as Illinois.
Anything.
And it's been easy for them to see what it's like. Where would you want to spend the next 50 years? A place that doesn't listen to you for 5.5 years, or a place that moves, wants you,
It is.
them, and us.
Yeah,
So that's that. They've been working on this for quite a while, supposedly. So again, what would you want to do in Illinois, really, when they haven't even addressed your concerns? So Illinois continues losing businesses, population, tax base, and now possibly even the Chicago Bears. And yet, somehow politicians continue acting like nothing is wrong. According to a widely cited relocation data, Illinois has lost 2,616 businesses to other states since 1994. But what's even more alarming is the acceleration in the recent years. So, since Governor Pritzker took office in January of 2019, Illinois is estimated to have lost somewhere between 900 to 1,200 businesses to other states. 2022 alone saw around 260 businesses leaving. 2023 saw another 218 leaving. And these are not just tiny unknown companies quietly disappearing. We're talking about major names people recognize immediately. We have Boeing, Caterpillar, Citadel, Tyson Food, TTX Company, and I can't pronounce the last one, but you get my drift. And now even the Chicago Bears are advancing discussions connected to the stadium project in Indiana. The city of Chicago losing the Bears, possibly leaving Illinois. I know that is not to 2033, but again, they could be bluffing. They could be saying the truth. Now, the only thing maybe they won't leave is if we vote differently, but that should set off alarms everywhere. Now, to be fair, supporters of Governor Pritzker point out Chicago was recently ranked the #1 metro area for corporate investments in relocating for the 12th straight year. You can't make this up. But here's the problem. If things are supposedly booming, why do so many companies continue to leave? Why are people leaving? Why are businesses leaving? Why are taxpayers leaving? At some point, regular Americans stop listening to the political slogan and start looking at reality. People follow opportunity. And I've said this 100 times. Wealthy people vote with their feet, and they also take the jobs. Businesses follow lower taxes. Families follow affordability. And companies don't relocate billion-dollar operations because they're bored. No, 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 no. Illinois has been one of the clearest example in America of a state trying to tax and regulate its way into prosperity while watching people quietly pack U-Hauls. You can't make this up. In Springfield, bills are passed in the middle of the night where most of us are asleep. Millions passed just the other day, not for tax relief, instead for social services, which includes, you guessed it, illegal immigrants. And politicians still act shocked every time another company leaves. But if Illinois is struggling with businesses leaving, they're not alone. California may be struggling with something even more important: public trust. And this next conversation always makes people uncomfortable. Why? Well, because asking questions today is treated like a crime. Let's talk about California. California only requires ID when you register to vote, not every time you vote. That's simply reality. Mail-in ballots rely heavily on signatures verification and voter rolls. And that's where many Americans begin asking questions because critics argue voter rolls in some areas have not been properly updated in years. So naturally, people wonder how many dead people are still sitting on the voter rolls. It's not like they open it for us to check it out. No, 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 no. Now, before people start screaming and hyperventilating online, calm down. Asking questions about election security should not automatically make someone an extremist. I am not. Americans ask questions about banks, taxes, school, immigration, healthcare, but somehow elections are treated as the topic where citizens are told, don't ask questions, just trust us. That's not healthy. Now, in another layer to this, California also allows illegal immigrants to obtain driver's license. And while state's officials say those licenses cannot legally be used for federal voting purpose, critics still argue it increases concerns about verification standards and system integrity. And honestly, this is where the Democrats lose people because instead of calmly addressing concerns and improving confidence, many politicians immediately attack anyone asking questions. Everything becomes conspiracy theory, election denier, threat to democracy. Meanwhile, Americans are watching ballots counted for days, if not weeks, and sometimes even months after Election Day because California accepts ballots postmarked by Election Day, even if they arrive later. And this is supposed to be the tech capital of our nation. Again, maybe there are explanations for all this, but whatever. Fine, if you say so. But public confidence matters, transparency matters, trust matters. And when millions of Americans no longer trust the system, yelling at them usually makes things worse, not better. Because we all know that most conspiracy theories have turned out to be true. Just saying. And now California may have a 2026 ballot measure that could require government issue identification for in-person voting. An identification number connected to the mail ballots. Interesting, huh? Let's see something. Let's check something out. So let's see. Let's share my screen and let's go to this one. Let's see what's going on here. Yes, don't get all messed up because it's Fox. Again, I love the way he breaks it down.
Their has been creeping up a little bit. He's within about 300,000.
This is the governor's. They might even get Hilton out of there. Sad.
So there's not quite a third of the votes still out there in the governor's race there. Honestly, I can't tell you when we're going to.
Nobody can.
I don't know if it's going to be a couple of days or a week or beyond that, but that's where we stand. Hilton stays in second place as of now. If he keeps that spot, then he advances to the general election coming.
We know
This is the
he might
mayor's
not.
race in Los Angeles. Karen Bass advanced early last week. Yeah, 83% of the vote counted already. So you can do the math, how much of a percentage is still out. A progressive who used to work and support Karen Bass has now moved into slot number 2. Pratt trails Raman now by about 3,000 votes as it stands right now on this Monday morning. It's 6 o'clock in the morning in California. We expect to get more votes later today, but hold on now. We'll wait till those come in. Matt Finn live in City Fitness.
So there you have it. Once again, the votes come anywhere between in the middle of the night or don't come at all. One of those. And again, that's the way it is in California. You can't make this shit up. You really can. So anyways, what are we supposed to think? What are we supposed to think? I really don't have anything good to say about California because I know for a fact that they gave, I don't know how many licenses to illegal immigrants. And when you go get your driver's license, they constantly ask you, do you want to register to vote? Do you want to register to vote? I know because I've done it. So anyways, apparently even California recognizes concerns exist because if everything was already perfect and flawless, why change anything? Isn't this the tech capital of the nation? So they just triple down, double down, and yeah, we'll look at it, but it's not an urgency because they don't care. Now, let's head to Maine because this next story might be one of the clearest examples of modern political hypocrisy. And you'll see. And honestly, you seriously cannot make this shit up. So anyways, for years, remember, let's go back. Americans have endured nonstop moral lecture from Democrats. We've heard Nazi, rapist, dangerous, believe all women, the Me Too movement, zero tolerance. Republicans have been compared to Hitler so often the word has practically lost its meaning. But now, suddenly, things get very complicated for Democrats in Maine. Democrat candidate Graham Plattner, whatever his name is now facing controversy connected to the alleged Nancy-linked imagery. Tattoo surfaced online and accusations from women regarding abusive behavior. And suddenly, the same people who demanded instant cancellation for conservatives are now discussing forgiveness, second chances. Amazing how that works. I still remember when they went after Pete Hegseth for he was being attacked over the tattoo that he had on his chest and tried framing that as extremist. You remember that? Because I do. Now suddenly we're told, well, people evolve, people mature. We should hear the content. Now you want to hear the content? Interesting timing. And what happened to the Me Too movement? Because for years, Democrats wanted America to believe Trump assaulted a woman decades ago in a dressing room. Yet now, when allegations emerge involving one of their own candidates, many Democrats suddenly become very quiet. No. We have to hear the content. Now you want to hear the content. Why is that? Well, because apparently standards only apply one direction. That's what frustrates America. No politics, no disagreement, not even ideology. It's just double standards, flat out. If Republicans are accused, immediate outrage, national headlines, wall-to-wall coverage, demand for resignation. But if Democrats face controversy, let's wait. Let's understand the content. Let's not rush to judgment. Americans notice this. I notice this. And yes, as a brown immigrant myself, the imagery involved here looks disturbing to me. The accusations sound ugly, and the hypocrisy surrounding that reaction is impossible to ignore. You cannot spend years lecturing Americans about morality and then suddenly change the rules when it's politically inconvenient. That's why people are losing trust in institutions, media, politics altogether because the rules never seem to apply equally. So let's look at this guy because even his look gives me the creeps. Just say. I really do. So let's see. There we go. Let's see his guy. We all have skeletons. Yeah, we all do. But with the Democrats, they hide them.
Maine, I will always have your back.
Yeah, sure.
Flatter campaign also that raised more than $200,000 in the 24 hours since the New York Times.
These people are crazy. Remember, the devil doesn't ask to come in, the devil just comes in.
Are alleged, quote, toxic and
or the other way around. I don't know how that goes. You can tell me in the comments.
During one argument, she recalls that he twisted her arm.
It's true. This guy is not a man. Who does that? Who does that? Seriously, who does that? So it's really disheartening to know that this man might get in and they might actually vote for him. You know, I've had some toxic relationships in my life, and I'm telling you, I get a bad vibe with that guy. That's not a real man. That is not a real man. But of course, the Democrats are desperately seeking for somebody who looks manly, and now they go with this guy who potentially can be somebody very, very dangerous, and they don't care. So from Illinois losing businesses to California losing public trust to Maine exposing political hypocrisy, Americans are exhausted. I'm exhausted, although I had a lot of fun over the weekend because I was in Springfield, Illinois, where they make decisions in the middle of the night and they pass bills when you least expect it, when we're all asleep. People are tired of being told not to believe what they see with their own eyes. And maybe that's why independent media keeps growing, because regular people are desperate for honesty. I am too, even if they don't always agree with everything being said. At the end of the day, Americans can handle disagreement. What they can't handle anymore is the obvious hypocrisy, pretending to be morally. Again, they don't have a moral bone in their body. They are hypocrites. They have double standards. They don't care. They don't care what we think. They really don't care. They have gotten a hold of these blue states and they just do not want to let it go. And unfortunately, these people keep being fooled. As a woman myself, I cannot see how any woman would agree with this man. He's got all the characteristics. That is not a man's man, Democrats. I know that you guys are too feminine, but this is not a man's man. To me, that guy needs a real ass whooping. That's what he needs from a real man. He talked bad about our military. He's got a Nazi tattoo, and that's a real Nazi one, not the one that Pete Hegseth had. So again, when is enough enough? I was in Springfield, Illinois, and we trailer our motorcycle up there, and we spent some time with some of our friends, what I call XRP community. And I said I will have a show about that. And soon enough, it's summer, and I'm just go, 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 go. But in the meantime, I cannot say enough to get this book, The Ripple Effect. Let me see if I put it here. The Ripple Effect. It's really good, and I'm reading it so I could do a show on it. But again, it is summer, and I am go, 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 go. We're actually leaving again this Thursday on our motorcycles to go around Lake Michigan. So I'm really looking forward to that because we've done it a few times, but we've done it in the fall, and it's always so darn cold. So I'm hoping this time, and I know it's not summer yet, but that is warmer, and we could get to enjoy that. So I don't know if I will do a show next week, but for all my new subscribers and my newcomers here, you can catch up. Again, go back to episode 1 and watch my journey to America. I think the first 4 episodes are my journey to America. And I hope you like it, and I hope obviously you subscribe. But I like to take at least 1 week off, because then after that, my son's coming to see a Cubs game from Arizona, and then it's 4th of July. So I will put one out. I'm just going to give you guys some time to catch up. And if something big happens, I'll find a way, because I get it. I will find a way. In the meantime, you can see all my rants and all my videos, my shorts in my social medias. Again, same name, Barbie Unfiltered 67 in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, X even. But again, I'm trying to have a little fun. Remember, we live in Illinois. It's not always fun here. And then I have to gear up for mid-elections here. I do have some guests. And as I get closer to midterms, I definitely have candidates that I want to bring on. And I want to ask questions and see from my Latin perspective, again, ask questions from the perspective of a legal immigrant. We are tired of these illegals who never did anything the right way, of getting all these services that we don't get. I don't even care about me getting it. But when you look at the fraud that is happening in every state, especially with Medicaid, public aid, but the latest one with special needs children, where's the outrage? Where is the outrage? Like I said, I said it on my other video. I cannot tell you how many mothers of special needs kids or artistic kids would yell at me. Oh, they're going to take you're going to take our this, you're going to take our that. No, they're not taking it. They're just stealing it from you. The Democrat is stealing it from you, because if you look at the latest news that's coming out of Tim Wall State, they knew about it. They looked the other way. There is no doubt in my mind that these people knew exactly what these people were doing, and they just looked the other way, because again, they thought, if they call me a racist, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh my God, they label me. No, you've been labeling people for so long that you don't even know how to stop a fraud. And sometimes being in power, or being the governor or the mayor of a state, you have to do ugly things and then explain why you're doing it, because everybody hates fraud. You're stealing from the American taxpayers. So again, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Share if you're tired of the double standards too. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. And again, what a weekend of news. I had a blast. Seriously, follow me in the socials, because I do enjoy showing those videos like bam, like instantly. So again, thank you so much. Love you till next week. And if not next week, the following week. In the meantime, catch up if you're new to my show. Go back and go to episode 1 in my journey to America. Thank you so much, and have a great day and week. Bye.